Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're just going to do an extension of a previous video that we did before. It was the healthy relationship one. We got some feedback on some other maybe questions and stuff that they had for us, so we're going to talk about how we keep the romance alive after the love alive after about, I guess, a year and like a month now. So.
It doesn't seem long, but I feel like a lot of people, when they're together, like the honeymoon, there's like a honeymoon phase when you first start dating, and then it kind of ignites again when you get married, and then it fizzles. But there's plenty of evidence to show that that's not something that needs to like fade, and that by thinking it's gonna like be a phase, it most likely will be. So it's gonna give some tips and tricks, and I guess like what we do in our relationship particularly might not be what you need to do, but just kind of what works for us, and hopefully you can take some tips from that. I don't know.
The first one that I said was like making each other laugh and like keeping the child in you alive, because like we're very like goofy and like not childish, but
yeah, no, it's childish.
But like yeah, just like sometimes like here and there, like in like a joking manner and stuff, and it's just, I don't know, we have like little things that we do that like we know will make the other person laugh, like if they're getting upset or like whatever it is. So
yeah,
I don't know, just always making each other laugh and smile.
And every relationship has that, by the way. Like every relationship has that little inside jokes that only they get. But the problem is that after a certain amount of time, whether it's a few months, you start to get comfortable. You know, like, oh, this person's mine. I don't have to try anymore or whatever. So you stop those like little fun jokes that you used to do in the beginning that made you guys kind of have that like butterflies in your stomach, that like love feeling. You stop doing that, and then over time everything just kind of like fades away. So yeah, that was a good one. The child in you.
This is a recent one that we just started doing now. Basically dancing. So the other day, I don't know what it was, but it was like not even like an argument. I don't know, like I don't even know, like I got like sort of like upset or like sad or like whatever, and then I asked him if he wanted to dance to like one of our first songs, or like I guess it was one of the ones that we danced to.
Yeah.
So yeah, he put on the music, we were dancing, and then we danced to like a couple other ones, and then I don't know, it's impossible
to be mad at someone while you're dancing, or like while you're like holding hands. Like there's like little psychological tricks that you know give that like, I guess, dopamine hit, or like you feel that like nostalgic sense of happiness with your loved one, or like whatever it is. But I first danced with her at like your family event or something to a Frank Sinatra song, which is like one of my favorite songs, and then that was like the first song we ever danced to like at an event somewhere. So like that's like kind of like the song that we always want to dance to when we hear it. So yeah, honestly, like for us it works. For you it might be something else. It might be holding hands, going for a walk, or telling a joke, or take on whatever it is.
My last one was just like always like letting the person know that like you love them and you support them, like whether it's me or you sending like one of those long like good morning texts of like how much you love them, or like something that's going on, or like even just like when we're laying down, sometimes we'll just like randomly start like giving me compliments and like saying things that he loves about me, or like whatever, just to like always kind of remind them that you're always still there for them and stuff.
You have to view it as like what did you do? If like I'm talking to the guys, like what did you do to get her to kind of feel a certain way about you that wasn't just friends? Like what were the things that you did and said that made her feel loved and special? Like those are the things that got her to become your girlfriend. So why is it that when you have her as your girlfriend you stop those things? So like it's not very like complex. Like she's beautiful, I tell her she's beautiful at least once a day, if not like 40. But it's simply because, not that she doesn't know that she's beautiful, but like it makes her happy, it makes her smile. Like I like to do those things. It doesn't matter if don't look at me. It doesn't matter if we're fighting or if we're on the phone or like whatever it is. Like we don't ever really fight. We just have like sometimes a disagreement on the topic or like a view or like whatever, right? So anytime those come around, like I'm gonna talk about my tips in a second, but like think of it as, you know, you are trying to get her to like you, but like all the time. And that's like I think the main thing to keep that like love and romance alive is to act as if you're still trying to get her. So my first tip, those are her 3 tips that I guess she uses in our relationship, but I have my own as well. So the first one would be to like understand the bigger picture, which is like, you know, if you get mad at, I don't know what your relationship has, but like, for example, if Rosanna got mad at me because I made a mess like on the floor, or I didn't clean up a dish, or like something really, really small that doesn't matter in the long term, if you let something very, very small sidetrack like all the love, all the history you've had, and like you guys start yelling and arguing with each other, it's not worth it. Like for me, I have like the 5, I don't know what the rule is called, but like if it's not gonna matter in 5 like years or 5 days or whatever, don't spend more than like 5 minutes like worrying or thinking about it. So like yeah, like I might have like Rosanna, I got guilty of this. Rosanna leaves a water bottle, here's 2 of them right here, that I give her every time she comes over to like drink because she doesn't drink enough water, and they end up on the side of my bed right here every single night, and you know this, every single night. And I wake up in the morning and I start making my bed and I see that there's like a water bottle on the side, and like in my head I just laugh because I just know that she always does it. And even though like it's like a waste of water, I know I can just drink it or like add it to like my diffuser or like water a plant with it. Like it's not the end of the world. But normally, like, you know, before I started being more aware of these things, like it would bother me. I'd be like, hey, like you left your water here again, like it's a waste of water. Like I would be like very like stressed and tense about it. But now I'm just like, okay, it's water, like fucking cares, like it's not gonna matter in the long run, so don't stress about it now. Yeah.
So he also leaves his water bottle at my house when he comes over.
I do not.
Yes, you do. And your watch and your ring. How about that? Next tip, please. But it's okay, it's not gonna matter.
Are you done?
Yeah, done.
Did you want to get like a drink of water?
No, I'm okay actually. Yeah, just my cold teas over there.
Your cold tea? Oh, whatever that is. It would take 3 hours to get ready.
Because just go to the next step.
So my second tip is to maintain the desire for each other and the like romance. You know, so this goes out to the girls and the guys, but I'm speaking to the guys particularly. But you know, take your girlfriend on dates once a week. Like have a specific day of the week or certain amounts of times per month where you do like a date night, whether it's like a dinner and a movie or a day where you don't have your phones and you're just with each other for the whole day and you're just dedicated to that person, because it's those little things, believe it or not, that make the big difference in the long run. And my last tip, which is the biggest one, is to not view the honeymoon phase as a phase, because if you do that, you're kind of setting yourself up for like, okay, this is going to be good for the first few months, and it's going to fizzle away. Like anything we're talking about, anytime someone gets married, or anytime someone says like, oh, I just got married like last week, the first thing that like guys or people say is like, oh, enjoy the first 3 months, like enjoy the honeymoon. Like after that, it's fucking downhill. Like after that, oh, my wife. All these things about like how they're unhappy in their marriage, and like, you know, they have kids and like a family, and
my
like
work doesn't do that anymore. Like that stopped after
like
we had kids, or
it's
like whatever.
it's
like,
so annoying because like
why?
I know people watching this, like whether you're married or you've been dating for like longer than us, you're laughing at us right now saying like, oh, they don't know what's coming. Like
yeah.
I'm not saying I'm never gonna have an argument with Rosanna or we're never gonna have a disagreement. I'm just saying we're both fully aware of like what really matters to us and in our lives, that we're not gonna get mad about things like money or you know, time together. Like there's so many things that we can do to go around that. Like if we put our priorities with each other, it's not gonna be like, oh, I can't see you today because I have a meeting with like a friend. Like it's about what you prioritize, right? So even though we've only been dating for 1.5 years, I still feel like every time I see her, it's like the first time I met her, like the first time I saw her, where like I get like all like happy and like giddy. And I don't know how to explain it, but like it doesn't really matter if I've been dating her for like a year or 10 years. It's the effort that you put in. Like, if obviously there's more tips, like, you know, getting into it for the right reasons and making sure that it's the right person for you. But once you've kind of got past that, like, you know, judgment, it's about the work. A relationship is exact that. It's like an actual like job, I find, right? So if you put the work in, you'll get the rewards. If not, you're always going to find yourself being unhappy and like wanting something different and like feeling like you're not fully happy and like with where you want to be in life. So those are like, I guess, 6 tips. Like, we kind of just gave 3 tips each, but obviously your relationship's going to have different circumstances than our own. So use these tips to your, you know, what am I looking for? Advantage or disadvantage, however you want to use it, but make sure that you're keeping the same effort that you had when you first started dating this person. Otherwise, it's going to fizzle away very quickly, and it's going to be a phase instead of something that can last forever.
That's it, guys. That's it from us. Like you said, obviously there's other things that people probably do, or like that we even do, but just those tips for now are something that like we always do to kind of keep our relationship going and keep the love alive.
And we're not perfect, by the way. I don't want this to be like a cringy post where it's like, oh, here's how to be like us. Like, we obviously have things that we need to work on, and like, I wouldn't just call it problems, but like, no one's perfect. So don't view this as like, oh, they've never had an argument, or like they're perfect. They've never, like, yeah, we don't fight that often, but still, there's nothing perfect about the relationship. It's about what you put in. So if you like this video, like, subscribe, and turn the notification thingy on, because YouTube's stupid now, so it's not going to actually tell you if we upload a video, even if you're subscribed. So if you want to know when we upload, put that little bell thing on. I'll put a little graphic here for you, and that's it. Take care, guys.
Bye. Oh.